Hello everybody and welcome back to Middle-earth. This is Count MRVHS with another episode of our 4th Age Total War Rhun campaign, and we are going to do a bit of housekeeping today along our southern border. As you can see, there are three understrength stacks of Harad, and we've got another one on the way. So we've got Fand the Hunter, who is going to relieve the siege of Acharn first here. Alright, a pretty decent mix. We will be able to see one of the new units of the mod here in this battle, assuming they stick around. They've got a couple of these Acharn tribesmen. A very cool looking unit that is available from one place only. It's kind of hard to see it here, but this, I believe, is Karasagar is right here. Alag Rokbin, I think, is up here. And this is Acharn. So this is the settlement where you can recruit these guys. So let's take a look and see if we can get a glimpse of them on the battlefield. Okay, we will have some reinforcements in the fight from the settlement ahead and to our right. And this is the army that we have to deal with Harad. So I've put together a mostly ranged force. It consists of a good few mercenaries, some of these steppe outriders, horse archers here that we've used on and off, a couple of units of the mercenary dragon shield riders, and then just some assorted other things. Only one unit of axemen, and that's our best infantry, so the majority of our work is going to be done by our bows, by the few skirmishers that we have, and we do have some cav as well. But we've got a lot of warband, basically just to round off the numbers here. So I forgot to check whether they have a lot of cavalry. But I think we will go with something like this.
Fresh warriors have arrived. Perhaps it is the time to send them.
I half expect them to retreat anyway. But before they do, we can steal a look at their forces. So a lot of swordsmen. The only weakness I guess these guys have, well, there's two. They're not super strong against ranged, and they are vulnerable to cavalry. But they've got javelins, as you can see, and there's a good amount of them in the unit. I think 80 or so, 81, I guess, in a full strength unit. So they can stand for longer than you'd expect and cause some problems. Here coming forward are the Acharn tribesmen. They look a lot like the, I think the model is based on the Red Sand Archers model, but the big difference is that these guys have two-handed spears, or pikes, I guess, short pikes, if they're fighting in melee. So these are actually a very, yeah, there they go. Let's send the horse archers forward just to get a few easy kills. Oh, maybe they're not retreating. But the Acharn tribesmen are pretty versatile, which makes them a good buy. So it's almost worth taking that one settlement of Acharn just south of Mordor, if you think you can. There's not a lot of trade goods located there. I think it may have iron as a resource. Let's get all our cav up. But there are a few places like that on the map where you can get some unique units. A lot of them are sort of Easter eggs, actually, so I don't want to reveal all of the secrets. But one of them is, if you play the Reunited Kingdom or a Dunabar, you're most likely to see them. This is the Lossoth Warriors, who you can get if you take Rhun, which is a settlement way up in the north, right along the Bay of Forachel. I'd say north-northeast of Fornost. If you can get up there, you can get some of those very cool-looking... they're skirmishers, and I believe they have spears as a secondary weapon. The other thing is these swordsmen don't have the best morale, so you can see they are breaking. The main thing is I don't want to get into a fight with them because this is the army that I have to pretty much deal with everything in the south. So... don't want to risk any unnecessary losses. I will grab this unit of swords since they're routing anyway. And they're right on the border. Those other guys are routing, so I probably should have attempted that charge sooner to get more of them eliminated. But that was pretty good. A pretty decent path of carnage leading back. All right. Clear victory. 1391. We lost, 8 or so. Eliminated over 300 of theirs. And of course, it was all the horse archers' work. Okay. So they've retreated just back beyond the border. And now we have to... well, I guess we can't. We don't have the movement points to do anything else just yet. So that's alright. I think I will take Fand and bring him down right about there. And maybe he'll get attacked next turn. Maybe he will be in a position to pick off some of these other stacks. So, my strategy here, though, because Harad can play this game forever. They can just grind me down into dust if they just keep producing troops and sending them over here. Eventually, they'll be able to break through and take Lug, Acharn, maybe get up towards Moldin. So, there are basically, 2 options I have, and one is to take the fight to Harad and start taking their settlements and make sure that the fight happens, like over here, deeper in their territory. The problem with that is I don't really want their territory. Harad's lands are not welcoming to barbarian cultures. So I'll be facing steep unrest. These places are going to be either fiefdoms or most likely outlands once I get over here. So it's going to take me a very long time before I work them up to the level where I can train anything. And meanwhile, Harad is probably draining the population just to throw more bodies at me. So it's just going to be kind of an endless war down there. So my other option is a little more controversial. What I plan to do is take Nor Imloth and let's see, and maybe take this as well. And what I'm going to do is gift these settlements to Khand. Khand is, of course, at war with me still. We've collected quite the suite of enemies here. But Khand is also not at war with anybody else other than the rebels. They're not at war with Harad. So what that means is, theoretically, I can prop them up as a buffer state against Harad. And assuming those two don't go to war, I can just not worry so much about my southern border. Khand may stick its neck out occasionally, may try attacking me, but as you've seen, they've been very docile neighbors ever since I beat them down to this one settlement. The most they've done is sent an army like halfway over to Acharn and then turned back before I got close. So I'm happy to continue this being essentially a Cold War, and I would love to set them up as a buffer state between me and the much bigger problem, Harad. As you can see, there's no natural borders down here. It's not like in Mordor where I could take Lon to Nurnin and there's rivers, or if I wanted to, I could even push further and there's the mountain passes. No, it's just an open, endless desert area, and it's not of a lot of use to me. So that's the plan there. Here, we just took Lond Nurnin, and we just need to wait. Yeah, I guess I didn't even pass the turn since we took that. It's been a few days since I've played, so we'll just. I think that's all we'll have to do here. We get some unrest going on because we've expanded a bit. And we'll see what the next turn brings. Okay, we got kicked out of Yathin Ra. Very good. Rebels took that. And Thordram, as you saw, looked nice. Looked like I think it had a yellow face in terms of public order. Okay, Reunited Kingdom is making me an offer. They want overlordship, and they want me to give Lond Nurnin. Well, there's no way I'm going to do that. If I were interested in gaming the AI really to the point of exploitativeness, I would maybe consider that, but I would counter with a demand for a ton of money. I'd be like, sure, I will be your vassal, but if you'd have to give me like 10,000 or 20,000 Mirian. A lot of times the AI will accept that. They will pay you a ton of cash. They will be your overlord, but they will almost guaranteed they will basically break that agreement. So you become their vassal, and they attack you on the very next turn. This is very disappointing behavior, of course, on the part of the AI. But the fact is, if you soaked them for 10 or 20,000 gold, then you still make out of the deal because you were at war with them anyway. I don't really want to do that. It feels a bit cheaty. So I will just cancel this here. It's, I suppose, a good sign that they're at least interested in some nominal level of peace, but I just don't believe that they would stick with it. Okay, so we lost Yathin Ra, very good. And because we lost that, and remember we didn't have a homeland or a fiefdom building in the works, Thordram, which was a red face, is now a blue face, because just our ratio of settlements that have dominion, like homeland dominion here or whatever, the ratio of settlements that have it to settlements that don't has tilted back in our favor. Okay, we've got a single solitary unit of single man, Rovanian bowmen mercenaries, or mercenary, I should say. So we'll bring him back, I guess. Maybe we'll be able to retrain him at some future date. And speaking of retraining, let's get rid of all of these. Well, actually, let's send these back to Bray Gestalad. They're not doing a lot of good, but we can't retrain them further west anyway. Further east, rather. So I will send... yeah, I guess all of these guys over to Erebos, where these can all be retrained. Now, that does not leave me with a lot. Maybe I can make some use of these 19 slingers, and these 12 riders will be useful. But let's see. So that's 9 units. Plus a couple of these guys. So, yeah, I think we'll have to do this. How are you doing for supply? He is still well supplied, so that's good. I want to send them on to the enemy territory so that they will be inclined to attack. So let's put him right here on this road. And then they're going to have to decide, do we want to take back Yathin Ra, or do we want to attack this threat? So they may send this stack at me, which I think I could handle. Lond Nurnin trained a scout. I think we'll keep him in here because chances are the Reunited Kingdom is going to have spies of its own. And I don't want them to just open the gates. Okay, we restored the stone wall there, and we did lose some cash, and we are losing cash. But we do have these reinforcements on the way. I'm a bit worried these guys could get bribed. But... let's see. Could this stack handle this stack if it turned around and decided to attack them on the march? I don't know. I think I got to get them over here, though. Okay, so I could get them, like... right there. And I think... yeah. So what we could do is see how few forces we can keep in Lon Nurnen. I guess at this point I want to leave like the skirmishers maybe. Okay, good. Better than I thought. Then we'll bring them up here. Oh, too many. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we got to get rid of a lot. Shoot. Should have paid more attention to that. Okay, so who do I want in the army? Definitely Alwar. And I need 10 more. 1, 2, 3. Let's keep the mercenaries. Actually, I could send the mercenaries back for retraining in Tham, I think. But that's a long way off, so I'll just hold on to them. I got 6 more units. Oh, I do have some cav coming. Let's combine these. Theoretically, I could train more, but I don't want to. So I think what I'm going to do is all of these guys can go back. Well, why don't I keep the slingers? Sure. All these guys can head back towards Tham or Adel or wherever to be retrained. The Darkhelms are going to have to take a long trip, but we do want to keep supplies coming back and forth. So hopefully this stack here, it's pretty small. Hopefully this will be able to manage whatever's coming. We saw this force on the way. It looks like a couple of full-strength units of men-at-arms, so we'll have to deal with that. I would like to get a watchtower over here at some point. And what do they have? Men-at-arms, King Spearmen. Okay. Okay, so, you know, not a ton. I'm not seeing any doom stacks really headed toward us. If I can keep them off the Lon Nurnen, and we can keep building here, then this place could become useful. Alright, I don't want to build anything. Let's see, 1 season for this. This is actually going to make us a bit of money. It's going to cut into our mismanagement by like 140. It's going to cost us about 80 in land tax, but that is going to net us a certain amount of money. And this is going to, a couple of turns, 980, but it's going to add 16, 2, so 600. So we're going to make about 300 or so net off of that. What else do we have in the works for construction? I don't think we have much. No, nothing. So what's going to happen is this is going to have to come online. We're going to have to get going on the Dominion building here, and then hopefully our finances will start to get in order. Okay, now we've got some movement points, and we can start to deal with this. So they're all clustered up here. The problem with that is that we are such a ranged heavy force that I don't know that we would have enough arrows to deal with a huge force. So I think instead I'll just bypass them and head for the settlement. And then they'll start attacking me there. So this feels risky, but let's do it. Oh, interesting. There's some mercenary South Rhun spears available down here. Not that I'd want to pick them up, but they're a decent mercenary unit if you can afford them. Okay. We did everything we needed to do in Ravanian, in Mordor, and in the south. And in the north, again, we're just not seeing any movement here, so... Oh, although this is different, isn't it? Okay. Now we have to watch out. We bordered Dorwinion in 2 places. One right here, although I'm honestly less worried about this border because we've got a very strong Dwarven settlement. But now we border them here, and the problem is they could sneak an army down and just hit us somewhere that we are vulnerable. So this is kind of a problem. Let's send our emissary down. And they're making some pretty good troops, Dorwinian men-at-arms. I think that's a tier 4 unit, which is the highest Dorwinian can make. So pretty decent troops, although a lot of them, as you can see, are these local levies. These are basically copies of our warband and raiders and so on. So this does not look too threatening. All right. Okay, as predicted, we are being attacked. We are being attacked by a lot. Some Spearmen of the Serpent. You know, some ranged and a lot of swords. Let's just check how they are disposed around me here. So Akil, so he's coming from straight ahead. Marwan is coming from northeast. A lot of swords. I think this may have been the stack that we fought earlier. We do have some plainsmen mounted skirmishers. And then this is the big stack that was headed toward us, Jabari, with basically more of the same. They're very low on cav, and actually they're pretty low on ranged. This unit has 1 archer, or this stack has a single unit of Parchereb tribesmen. This stack has 2. And this stack has 1, 2, 3 understrength units of archers. Oh, geez, should I do this? I could retreat, potentially. I'm going to do a save just in case something really buggy happens here. So 2 armies ahead and to the right. Now, if I retreat, someone's going to follow me. I just don't know where I'm going to retreat to. And I think I would rather take them on piecemeal, so... Oh, interesting. Okay. So, the settlement, including a noble, very cool unit, the Serpent Black. That's their Harad's bodyguard. So this is the garrison. If I wipe them out, maybe I could take Narim Loth. Probably not, because it's the AI's turn, and they could just recruit another unit there if they have the population, or they could send one of their armies down in to garrison it. But that would get me, you know, that much closer to taking this settlement and throwing up a border between me and Harad. Alright, let's hope this works. Okay, so we are fighting in the desert terrain, it looks like. Now I am going to have a cavalry advantage. Okay, so this is where, I can't remember which army is attacking me now, but we've got an army here. We've got the settlement right over there, as you can see. And so that means that the family member, as well as a unit of Parchereb tribesmen, is going to be coming over here. I could set right up next to them and take them out fast. That might be a decent idea. The other army is, I think, coming from over here. And so the problem is they're all fairly close to me. There's not a lot of space for me to maneuver. And I do wish I had some more archers. Okay, I think I do want my axemen back, because, again, those javelins that their swords of Harad carry could, you know, really do quite a number on my axes, and I want my cheap troops to soak that up, I think. Alright, so we are going to set up pretty much facing the town. Oh, I hate that. Don't know why it does that. Sometimes it accepts the group, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. For here, I think actually I'm going to hang the skirmishers back a bit. Okay, they're a little further down than I expected.
Ha! These are more heads for our warriors to collect in trial.
Alright, I don't want to spend my guys' fatigue by running them over the desert. We do have a bit of a hill advantage, so they'll be marching up the hill. It's not going to affect these horsemen. It may affect these units, although they probably get a bonus in the desert anyway. Since they're marching, I think I'm going to go ahead and send my horse archers down, though, to disrupt them. Just take a few shots. Now, it looks like their bodyguard unit is hanging back, probably just so he can retreat if things start to go bad. Alright, so these guys should be routing pretty soon. I'm not going to rush this general unit, just because I don't think I'm going to get the city anyway, even if I eliminate him. So instead, I would rather go and disrupt these approaching forces as they're on the march. So here we've got a couple of units of archers. These are the archers of Harad. Very cool unit. Any unit with shields on the back just seems really cool to me for some reason. They've got decent armor. Red sand archers are good in desert, very fast, but very light. Basically no armor on these guys. I also love the scale, sort of bronze look on these spearmen of the serpent. Alright, and they are led by just a lieutenant, this sword unit. So that could be a very good thing. Alright, it looks like we're hitting their archers with our horse archers, so that's great. It also seems like they're not going to wait around for their reinforcements to show up. Every time I fight in desert, I just think this would be so perfect for my wains. No little rocks, not a lot of trees to foul things up. But, of course, the problem is you're fighting a lot of infantry, you're fighting a lot of infantry with javelins that are basically death to wains, so... Yeah, see, they get a shot off, or they're going to try anyway. That's the problem with even using horse archers against Harad, because these units can get close enough to throw, but not close enough to trigger your skirmish. Alright, this is probably not the way I want to go. I probably should have scooted around to that flank, but... let's pull over here. Alright, so we are shooting at them with our archers. Alright, do I want to hit them? Oh, where are you guys going? I think I will charge them in the side. I don't want them to get off a shot at me. So let's hit this unit. Come on, come on, come on. Wavering. Wavering. Ah, shaken. Shoot. 564. Yeah, and they're, I think they're shooting. Winning slightly. Ah, okay, come on. That felt like it was pretty close to effective. But we lost about half of our riders. We may have to... Oh, we can't withdraw at this point. Well, so we have to win this then. Okay. All right. They're tired. Hit him. And let's just throw in my warband against these other guys. Good. But as you can see, it's almost impossible to avoid taking losses with these guys. So Harad, fights with Harad are just extremely messy, and we're just getting massacred with our mercenaries. Good news is at least we can buy up some more. Alright, I'm going to hit this unit now. Come on, these red sand archers aren't breaking yet. There they go. We're going to get some friendly fire here as well. There you go. Alright, and then we've got this big approaching army on the horizon. Alright, but let's hit them with my step out riders. There they go, good.
The warlord of the enemy army is running like a startled goat. Hunt him. Goats make good eating.
All right.
This is no longer a battle. This is a hunt. No, a coward chase.
Now, basically, I'm limited to using these guys as light cav now. And they're already very tired. And there are a lot of swordsmen, but probably these guys are going to be exhausted. Actually, there's not that many swordsmen. 1, 2... This is a unit of footmen, very low tier. Some skirmishers, some cav, that's good. More footmen, so 3, 4, 5. So 5 units of swords, and then we've got 1 archer unit. Okay, I think we could do this. We do have some arrows left. I think I will anchor like that. skirmishers have actually come off fairly well. I'll keep them in the back row. Worried about this side. Just swinging right around. So, what are they? Okay, archers. Again, the fact that these guys have spears as a backup weapon, it means that it's not just a simple matter of me charging with my own cav into them. That's a much more dangerous prospect. But we may have to do something like that. Man, look at that mound of corpses. Alright, pile up some horses, guys. We'll make a little wall here. Aaron with riders. This is a the lowest tier cav that Harad can produce. And they don't have a lot of armor, as you can tell, but they are, you know, surprisingly effective. There's just, they've got great numbers, they're very fast, so we do need to watch out for them, but hopefully they will kind of charge into my spear line here, such as it is. Right, they are not pushing forward. Okay, so now we're firing. Good. Getting some hits, and we do have the ground advantage. Alright. Yes. Okay, we gotta charge these skirmishers. This is where our problems are going to come from. Alright, the general is running.
Any of our warriors would die rather than run.
Good. Footmen are routing. Alright, utterly tired. So if I can get any of these units to rout, which I think I can, then we stand a much better chance. Alright, reloading. Let's hit these footmen head on. Alright, send my general in to hopefully kill their general. This is obviously not great, but I figured maybe they would break a little bit more quickly. Nope, so let's get out.
The enemy warlord flees from our warriors. Attack and drive them back in the same way.
Very good. Alright, now they're wavering. Let's see if we can hit them. There's those Parchareb tribesmen. Wavering. Come on. There they go. Okay. There come the spears. Phew. Okay, they routed. Their morale is pretty low, I think, for these guys. Yeah, no message about the morale, so they're a very neat unit. Okay. Oops. Alright, let's send some guys back. Oh, here comes their family member. No, he's thinking better of it. Okay. Watch my general too. Let's get out of there. Get him in the side.
Enemy army runs. Now hunt them down.
Okay. Great. Okay. Well, that was a Pyrrhic victory, I would have to say. But the good news is we've got some troops in Acharn. We've got a pretty sizable garrison there with a lot of archers. And we should be able to head back there. We can retrain all of these mercs. I think actually we can end the battle now. We've killed enough of them. So heroic victory, but we lost about 500 men. Yeah, the archers are really what's doing a lot here, and our cav, you know, as you would expect. Okay, so we didn't get the town. They want a ceasefire. Well, give me a pile of money. Didn't I just say something about not exploiting the AI? Okay, they're not going to fall for that again. How about give me 10,000? Well, we're not going to be at peace for 2 seasons, but you know what? Maybe I'll be able to get the dwarves to ceasefire. Now that I don't border them anywhere. Actually, shoot. Oh, poor Brada. If only he'd been alive a little bit longer. You know, to be honest, though, I don't think this guy is much worse. What is he? He's the heir now. Okay. But that big cav unit of Brada's is going to be missed. Alright, so we're at peace with Dale, but the problem is I don't think there are any dwarven emissaries within range, so I don't think I can try to get peace off the dwarves this turn. Okay, Lorgan of West Rhun. This is the new faction leader. Now you'll notice his authority is 0. Again, this is the default. This is the first turn that he is the faction leader. That's going to increase, hopefully, next turn. But the problem is he's already seasoned. He's already old, essentially. And so he's not going to have a very long reign, which means... Oh, and he's a drunkard, too. Yeah. Oh, you know why? What do we have here? We've got... yeah, Hall of Feasts, which is the 2nd level tavern, basically. So he's been enjoying the drinks in Amarandor. Well, we've got our specialization building. We've got the fighting pits here, so I don't think we need to do a ton of building. When he dies, I'm not going to worry too much about having a governor here. But the problem, as I was saying, with his authority is that it's not going to have a chance to grow very high because he's not got much long. He's not got very long to live, and that's going to hurt the well, the opinion of liege trait of a lot of our governors. So, actually, let me check this guy's traits again. I think he's Ways of Darkness, yep. So, he's a Plainsman, Tribe of the White Ox. Next turn, we'll have to do a cruise around to check the loyalty of our various governors and generals. So, now it looks like we're turning a nice profit. That is, of course, because we lost a ton of troops here. And we are in a pretty precarious situation. Still 3 big stacks right around here. Okay, let's retrain them. And let's go with Axemen. Because as you can see, we didn't lose that many in that fight. I held them back. We lost a lot of warband, but the Axemen stuck around. Okay. 70. Okay, great. So we're going to have to spend almost all of our money on this, but this is going to make us a nice profit. So we're going to be looking at around 1,000 or so net profit from this once it gets finished. And the Reunited Kingdom, what is this? Oh my, hilarious. Okay, so Adunabar doesn't own any territory here anymore. Right, this is Reunited Kingdom, this is Reunited Kingdom. But there apparently are some Adunabar pirates hanging around because they've got a couple of boats that are now blockading this port of the Reunited Kingdom. Good job, Adunabar. Well, let's send these reinforcements back to get trained. Let's bring these guys up. Can't remember if there's a couple of units sticking around after Admorn. But I think what we're going to have to do is take the fight to them, as we were saying. Oh, here they come. Oh, no. Okay, but this is encouraging. Men of Mordor. These are just very basic militia-style units. Some guards of the Citadel. That's not good. Okay, all right. We may have to plan something drastic here as well. This is not too bad. I mean, it's a lot of them. A couple of guards of the Citadel. But no men-at-arms. There's some. One unit. I wonder if they were... Okay, here's that army that we were watching, and they seem to have stopped at the border. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is take this opportunity to hit this stack, wipe it out, and connect with our reinforcements, and just play the game of building, keeping them off this settlement for as long as we can. Okay, before we do that, let's make sure we don't forget to send our troops for retraining. And we've got to decide what we're going to do with Borlass. Looks like Ravanian has hold up. They don't have this under siege. They don't have any troops in the area. Okay, well, let's move my spy. I need to see where they are vulnerable. So they don't have any unwalled settlements, but they are going to be building up here. And because this is their production area, they're going to be able to assemble a large host faster than I can. I could rush up here and put this under siege, but they already outnumber me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. Actually, we're even in terms of units, but I am sure that I am going to be outmatched because some of these are just very under strength. Gosh, I just don't have the men in the area. Well, okay, now we've got some reinforcements. We're going to go into debt here. We're going to hit those reinforcements. We're going to hit this army, and then maybe this.
Orders. Chief. Orders. Orders. Chief. Yes.
How many do we need in Bregastelad?
Waiting to
60.
orders. Yes, Captain. Leaving the army.
All right, so that's what we're going to do.
Move. Unable to move.
Next episode, folks, we are going to attack this army. We're going to get our troops together, and we're going to take the fight, I believe, to Rovanost. Unless anything else appears, pressing. We're also going to have to continue keeping an eye on this. I sort of hope at this point that North Rhun is going to be able to get its act together and attack Dorwinion. But we may have to get involved up here soonish. You know what? I don't need to be training all these warband anymore. So that'll save us a bit of money. We're also going to deal with this army. We're going to see our berserkers in action for the first time. And before we go, I've got to figure out what to do here. There are 2 of these horse archers, so I think I'm going to combine. Send you up there. Probably we'll do this. We'll hit this army. So, a lot to come, but I think we've gone on quite long enough for an episode here. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.